Hey guys, my name is Lily and today I want to show you how you can garden without having to purchase any compost or any other fertilizer, whether it's artificial or organic, for your raised beds or your garden in your vegetable garden. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is my small suburban garden that I've built in 2019, I believe, or 18. And since then I did not have a lot of cost anymore except buying very expensive soil, composting soil to be exact. I also had another source of horse manure which I got one time, but actually those horses are not fed organically and they are also sometimes taking medication, so this is why I've decided not to get this horse manure anymore. So instead I was buying some very expensive soil at the hardware store, but back in 2019 it was not that expensive, so one bag of soil would cost like 6 or 7 euros, and you would get a 60 liters of bag with high quality compost. So back then it was fine, but still expensive, but now it has gotten more expensive. So now this compost, the same brand, the same bag, actually now the smaller bag, because now they only give you 50 liters anymore instead of 60. Now the same bag costs 12 to 13 euros. So that's a 100% of price increase in just a couple of years, and that's crazy. So this year I only bought one bag of compost, and when I opened it up the quality was really bad. So it seemed as if they have added some kind of coconut coir or something to increase the volume, and it was not even broken down. And then I've decided, okay, I'm not going to buy any compost anymore. And I also don't want to buy any fertilizer anymore, because the artificial fertilizer that you can buy in the store actually makes a byproduct, and this byproduct is called fluoride. Okay, so the fluoride is coming from the synthetic fertilizers, and if you buy synthetic fertilizers you increase the production of this byproduct, which is called fluoride, which is a neurotoxin. So what should you do now? I don't want to buy compost, I don't want to buy artificial fertilizer, and I also don't have a place where I can get organic manure. So what should you do in my case? Well, actually it's really easy. It's really easy. So this here is a raised bed which I already have harvested some onions and garlic from. And what I'm doing now is, because this raised bed is empty, I'm digging holes and I'm just putting in some kitchen scraps. And once the hole is full and filled up, I will cover it with some soil. So now the entire raised bed is full with kitchen scraps. And the worms inside, the composting worms, will do the work for me. And actually, I've harvested this raised bed like 3 weeks ago. And the first hole I've dug here, and this one is already broken down. You won't believe it, but I'm going to show you. So let's dig into this soil. So there's nothing in here anymore. So it's really crazy how fast the worms are working in summertime. Now this raised bed is actually occupied because it has become a composting area. But until it freezes, I can use this raised bed and continue digging in kitchen scraps. And when it's starting to freeze, then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to let the raised bed sit until springtime. And by springtime, this kitchen scrap has already become compost. And this is now the second year that I've tried, and it's really true. Really awesome, guys. This is how you can save a ton of money on compost. You don't need compost if you're doing this. Anyway, so now I want to show you the rest of my garden, which is awesome. Yeah, also I want to show you the garlic and onions that was growing here and also here in the back side of this raised bed. So this was the harvest from those 1.5 raised beds. Pretty good. Actually, this is not everything. So we had one more bulk like these, but we have already eaten those onions, and I just hung them up here besides the house in the shade, and this is where they can stay until it freezes. And here I got my garlic. The garlic was not doing that great this year because actually it was raining too much and the plant was falling over too early. So then I quickly harvested the garlic, which is not too bad actually, but yeah, it should have gotten a little bit bigger. Now these are my tomatoes and they look great, but also this year I had more cocktail tomatoes than I wanted actually. So the cocktail tomatoes, they taste great, but they don't produce a lot of tomatoes. And this is why next year I'm going to focus more on salad tomatoes again, like these ones. So yeah, it's nice to have cocktail tomatoes, but the bulk I think should be bigger tomatoes, unless you don't want to make tomato sauce. My blueberries were doing really good this year, so now the harvest is already over. Then here I got some, this is actually looking like grass, but it's not. So this is some tiger nut, and this is a really nice nut. Actually it's a tuber, so it's not a nut, but it tastes like a nut and it's really delicious. So it's a great source of nutrition if you don't have a nut tree in your garden, and it produces a whole lot of calories. You can also grind the nuts into a flour and use it to make cookies, so it tastes really great. And the big bonus is that it looks like grass. So this plant is suitable for guerrilla gardening. Then here I have another plant which is suitable for guerrilla gardening, and this one is Jerusalem artichoke. And I only grow it in a container because if you put it into a raised bed, it will take over the entire raised bed and you will never get rid of it again. So put it in a container or in another spot of your garden. Never put it together with your other vegetables. Here I got some safflower flowers, which is nice. I got some rhubarb, lovage, parsnip, kale, carrots, pot marigolds. Then at this side I got some herbs, kitchen herbs. And here I got a small, very nice tomato. Now this one is called Tomfol, and it's a dwarf tomato or something, so it's suitable that you have it inside of pots, and it's doing really well. So if you do not have a garden but you want to have some plants on your balcony, then I can highly recommend this tomato here. Here at the back we have some raspberries. Then we have some kohlrabi that's left. Here I harvested some sugar peas. I got a couple of more kitchen herbs here, zucchini. Now I had 2 cucumbers and they both died. I don't know what they had. I think it might have been some blight or something. Same thing happened to me last year, so now I didn't have any cucumbers in 2 years, which really sucks. Then here I have another cucumber, but this one is not for eating. This one is actually making a sponge, so you can use it in the kitchen instead of artificial plastic sponges, which are really bad for the environment. Now in this raised bed here I have some thyme, and in the bigger raised bed I have potatoes this year, and I have to say I'm really happy about it. They were doing really great. So far we have harvested 2 seed potatoes with their potatoes. So we planted 1 seed potato here and here, and from this spot I've harvested 16 potatoes, and from this one I harvested what's in the bucket today. So really awesome. It's great to have your own potatoes. I think and estimate that we will have maybe 200 more potatoes in this raised bed. So that's enough to feed us through summertime and also fall time. Now in here, this is the inside of my greenhouse. The tomatoes are doing really awesome. I've covered them with straw, mulched them with straw on the bottom. This tomato here is not doing that great, but the other tomatoes are doing really awesome. I'm really happy about it. I have some more tomatoes here. And these are strawberries, which I have at the back side. And then also here I have some peppers. Yeah, so this pepper is doing really good. It's growing very high. And we also have some peppers on it already. All right, so this is, guys, how you can easily garden yourself and how you can keep your soil very fertile without having to spend $1. So all of this is organic and it turns back to organic soil. Alright, so this is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope that I can inspire some people to start gardening, because I believe this is a really important prepping skill. So gardening is not that difficult. I believe that everyone can do this. If you want to start with it, then now it's a good time. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned till next time.